He also is proud to call himself as a father to a 3-year-old daughter. That seems to be his biggest inspiration for every day. Let us welcome a distinguished Toastmaster, Raghavan Sridhar. Over to you, DTM Raghavan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Yasin. So good to be back. I was here very recently, and I'm back here. Why don't you all smile a little bit? Except Soundarya, I don't see anybody on my screen smiling at all. You see, the only way you can beat table topics is by smiling because it's going to throw so much at you. And there are going to be times when you're like, okay, who on earth thinks of topics like these? Okay, what do I speak now? And in those times, when you want to come out of that situation, it's going to be this one that's going to carry forward. I'm a very firm believer of the fact that we must take Toastmasters into our work and our work into Toastmasters, meaning the discipline we learn, the lessons we learn from one area into another. And for all of you who are at home nowadays, working from home, and you get into sudden calls, and you're like, yesterday I tried to call Karthik a lazy call just to say hi, how are you, what can we do tomorrow, etc. And he was in a call, and he says the call goes on till 9 p.m. I'm like, okay, why would anybody work till 9 p.m. from home? It's a punishment, isn't it? The only way you can survive all of those is by having a smile on your face and by taking it forward. So you forget everything else that we speak of today. Don't forget to have that smile with you, especially because you're wake up Toastmasters. And for those of us who are still having the cobwebs of a sleep, your smile is the only solution to get us out of it. Good morning, all of you. Thank you so much for having me back here again. Wake Up is almost, I have been a reluctant participant in Wake Up meetings. I have never, I don't have a habit of seeing 7 a.m. on my wristwatch or my clock because I keep sleeping through that time. But it's a really nice habit to develop to wake up a little early and be here fresh and to be able to talk. So, yeah, here I am back again. Thank you, Karthik, for the invite. I have my Guruji, Alex Jacob, here as well. He's an inspiration. We go back a very long way, and I have thoroughly enjoyed being a Toastmaster along with him. Today, I will run through a few slides, just 3 slides of session. So let's time this like this timer. Let's have a green at 25, yellow at 27 minutes, and a red at 30 minutes. We will try to remain at the roundabouts of 30 minutes for the session, and then we will try to have at least 10 of you having a go at these TT topics. What I would really like to do is after a TT speaker is done, immediately then and there have a small tete-a-tete or a chat, if you call it like that, and see if right there in the when the cake is really hot, so to speak, if we can talk to each other about how you approach the TT and how you could have done it a little differently, or how others can learn from your performance. Okay, sounds okay? Excited? Good to go? All right. So my office, they have banned Zoom on my laptop. So I'm doing with a makeshift. I'm using my tab. I haven't shared the PPT on my tab before. So I want you to permit me 30-40 seconds of twiddling around. I have kept everything ready, but you let me know if you can see my screen. Okay, screen broadcast. I'm saying start broadcast. Let's see what happens. Okay, I am sharing my own screen, and I think at this point you're seeing my. What are you seeing? Are you seeing a slide?
Yes.
Thank God. Good.
Yes.
Yes.
That makes things a lot easier. All right, I call this acing the table topics contest. Right. What's most important about this particular slide deck is the quote that you may or may not really see at the top. It's by Mark Twain. He says it usually takes me about 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech. It takes about 3 weeks to prepare a really good impromptu speech. You know what? When I did my ISC contest, I took 3 days to come up with the script because I was lazy, of course. But you have done it, haven't you? You have prepared and delivered an ISC contest with far less preparation than 3 weeks, which must tell you how important or how much of a preparation an impromptu speech takes. Don't be afraid. If you can bring your smile and if you can bring your life to the stage when you do your TT speech, that will be enough. I'm saying, don't just bring 3 weeks. I'm saying bring your whole life, because when a topic hits you, right? And there are topics that are truly ridiculous. I still remember a topic that was once given to me. It was uh, don't sweat over petty things. Don't pet over sweaty things. Let me give it to you again. Don't sweat over petty things. Don't pet over sweaty things. I mean, I promise you, this was a club contest speech. And one of our Toastmasters thought it would be nice to give such a speech. What happens to you? You tell me when I give you this speech, right? Let's talk to Aloysius, because you have a beautiful moving background behind you. You should teach me how you do that, by the way. But tell me, Aloysius, when I give you such a topic, when you're on stage, what do you think first? What comes to your mind?
First, three things.
Oh, you can think of three things. Oh, super. Okay.
Yeah. No, the organization of the speech, right? What I want to convey. The message, right? What I want to convey.
I would think
The
over
message
from the
I would think over
don't
One
sweat
second.
over petty
from the
things
and
don't
don't
sweat
pet
over
over
petty
sweaty
things
things,
and
right? Don't pet over sweaty things, right? I don't know. I got it right. So think of a
I
content
got
which
it
will
right. So
cover these
think
two
of a
things.
content which will
Um,
cover these two things.
think of a message as well, what
Think of a
they can
message
deliver
as well, what they can deliver.
quickly, or of course, feel an
Quickly, or of
experience
course, feel an experience
and deliver the same, right, with an
and
introduction and
deliver the same, right,
conclusion.
with an introduction and conclusion. Yeah.
Raghavan, can you unmute yourself? I'm sorry. Raghavan, can you unmute yourself?
How did I go on mute? I didn't press that. I hope you have been hearing me right throughout whatever I spoke about. At least Aloysius respond. I don't know how I went on mute unless somebody accidentally muted me. Oh, you did,
Sorry,
Kiran.
it was me. Yeah.
What?
There was a resound I was hearing, so I was thinking that it's
Is
because of
it
your mic might be taking the
possible,
speeches.
right? When I ask somebody to speak, maybe it's bouncing back. You know what? Let's do this. Let me not share my screen at all. I mean, we don't need that slide deck. I will walk you through some of the important points that I had for you. But if you can think of all that, Aloysius, you're something else. You're a Zen, okay? You're a Zen god. But let me ask somebody. Let me ask Soundarya. Soundarya, when somebody gives you a topic like this, what comes on your mind?
So the first thing is, as soon as I heard the topic, my confidence is down because I cannot think of anything, and like it's like a spiral. Once you lose your confidence, you can't think anything, and because you can't think anything, you lose more further confidence, and you go into
Absolutely.
a spiral, and you are so scared, and you just want to finish in the 2 minutes. Look like 2 years on the stage, and everybody is laughing at you, and all of that. So that is what will happen. But I
Soundarya, you have actually hit the nail on the head, and you've taken it to a really philosophical level, right? I mean, ask yourself, guys, if a topic can, Soundarya, I'm assuming you have finished. Okay, sorry, I know you're putting a comma there, but
no, I'm done. I'm
but
done.
because you hit the soul, right? See, what a topic can do for you is in 10 seconds or however long a topic takes, within that period of time, all of your experiences on the stage, everything that you have done until now in your Toastmasters career can come down to a crashing halt just because you got a topic and you're on stage and you're like, wow, gone. Everything is done, right? All of what you have done through your life till that point comes down to a grinding halt it crashes all down, because that's what a table topic can actually do for you. And that's why it's very important to keep that smile going, because when you're drowning, right, you need something to hold on to and come back up. Trust me, having a smile when you start can solve a lot of problems, because when you want to smile, you have to let go of your stress levels and then let the topic filter in. It might look like a little bit of a dodgy technique, but trust me, it's a really good technique to have. When you're listening to the topic, have a smile on your face. And to both of you, the first thing that will come to my mind if somebody gives me this topic, I'll be like, who on earth came up with this topic? If I lay my hands on you, or if I ever meet you, God save you. Because who gives a, I mean, don't sweat over petty things. I can understand. Fine. Okay. You're saying don't get stressed out for small things. But there is a comma there and say don't pet over sweaty things. Right? First of all, pet over, is that even an English word? These are the things that will come to my mind. Is pet over an English word? Sweaty things, are there something called sweaty things in this world? And what do you mean by don't do all of that? I mean, that's what happens, right? When that happens, in addition to the smile, what can help you is everything that has gone through you in your life. And because of the person you are, now, if I ask each one of you, what is the one word that stuck in your head in this topic? Let's ask Ashok Kumar, sir. What is the one word that stuck to your head when I spoke this topic? Ashok, sir, from Meraki, you're on mute. One word.
Yeah. Can one word? My experiences.
No. When I said this topic, right? I'm not going to repeat the topic. I told you a topic. One word from the topic that is in your head.
Sweat.
Sweat, right? Beautiful. Karthikeyan, what is the one word that's stuck into your head?
Petty things.
Petty things. Vivin Joy, what is the one word?
Sweat.
Now, any other word? Let's ask Satish Kumar, guest. You're on my screen, sir.
Don't.
Alex, one word.
Petty things.
Petty things. I can actually conduct a one-day leadership workshop with just this. The words that have stuck to your head have stuck there because of your personality. Either you're always focused on letting go of petty things because you're that kind of a leader, or you are at that phase in your life where you are too worried about petty things and you're telling yourself, yeah, I've got to go let go of this. There is somebody who said don't, and then there is a lot of don'ts in your own life. There is somebody who said sweat. Maybe you're a hard worker, or you appreciate people who work hard, or you're just sweating too much at this point in time. But no matter what you are, or who you are, or what topic you get, the words that will stick here are the words that will appeal to you as a personality. And that's what Mark Twain says. It takes him 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech. Of course, he's not going to really know what the impromptu speech is going to be all about, but it means that his random access memory, his immediate pickup from, will be of 3 weeks of size. And sometimes the larger the size, the better, because you can pick out from a variety. Sometimes the shorter, the better, because if there is so much that you're putting in your mind and you're thinking of, then you know, my Chitapa Payan's marriage, my wife creating issues, my child's school, my child's school teacher, my child's friend, my own office. There is so much to pick up from. You might get confused. But there is only one thing. India lost the test match. Damn. 22 people, 22 different personalities who are on the screen. Maybe you watched 22 minutes of the game only, then that's what is in your head. So depends on who you are as a personality, but remember to carry that smile and to remember to reach into the immediate past and then bring it up. That's what the first slide is all about. That's what just that quote is all about. It doesn't mean you go onto the stage unprepared. Impromptu doesn't mean you go onto the stage unprepared. It doesn't mean you go onto the stage with a preset script. You have to bring your personality to the stage. Because remember, the words that stuck into your mind when I told this topic are the words that reflect your very personality, and that cannot change. So, good. Let's go into what really makes a good impromptu speech. And most of you would have heard some really good impromptu speeches, right? And at this point, my request to all of you is more of you unmute your cameras, because the more of you I see, the more energy I get, and I am somebody who feeds off that energy. Okay, and if possible, be like look at Soundarya and be like Soundarya. She's smiling throughout. That gives a lot of positive energy coming in. Okay, so good. Let's talk about what makes a good impromptu speech. So Bharani, you might have heard impromptu speeches. What do you think are some interesting or very important characteristics of a good impromptu speech?
Unconventional thoughts, something hearing
Unconventional
different.
thoughts. Oh, wow. You're asking so much out of a TT speaker, man. I have to digest a topic, I have to think of something, and it has to be unconventional also. But okay, good. I will take it. Unconventional thoughts. Yeah, sometimes a speaker surprise and you're like, wow, man, how did you even think of that within that time? Good, Barney. Thank you. Let's go to Sandana Mullai.
Yes.
What? Yeah. Some characteristics of a good impromptu speech.
Some witty.
Wit, right? You guys want wit and humor and unconventional thoughts. Here I am not even able to understand a word of the topic, but good, Sandanamalai. Thank you. Jennifer? You're on mute, Jennifer.
Yeah, Raghavan. Good morning,
Yes.
everyone. Maybe for a speaker perspective, some topics which is easy to recollect the thoughts.
Yeah. But tell me, as an audience, if I have to call it, oh, that was a very good impromptu speech, what should that have?
Maybe giving some motivating point to the member.
Wow, wake up, come on. Motivation, unconventional thoughts, wit and humor. I will fail if I do a club contest in your club. But great going. Vivin, you raise your hands.
Yeah. Storyline.
Storyline. Yeah. Alex. Yes, I'll come to you. Aditya, right? I'll come to you. Alex.
Right. Honestly, I have no idea how you all speak, and I believe you are bluffing and convincing poor people like
Humble as always, aren't you, Alex? So thank you so much. Aditya, let me come to you.
Personal connect.
Connect. Beautiful. Yeah. Personal connect with what?
For my life.
In your life. Lovely. Beautiful, Aditya. I'll come back to you. Vikram, yes.
See, one thing there's an audience that I always cherish or enjoy is, though the topic is not clear to us, still the speaker is able to manage with a story covered to it and then deliver a beautiful speech. And then we say like how these guys are able to make it. Then we try to take some inputs from them and say connect some dots. That's where I cherish many moments.
Brilliant. Beautiful answer, Vikram. I'll come back to that also. Anyone else wants to share any, somebody saying humor, little humor? Yeah, absolutely. Little humor doesn't hurt anybody at all. It in fact is good.
Relevant to the topic.
Relevance to the topic, right? Absolutely, Ranjit.
Because people mostly deviate. So though the topic is difficult, when they stick to the topic and doesn't deviate, so that impresses me.
Brilliant, Ranjit. Great answer.
Think
I want you to
box.
understand. Who was that? Sorry.
I'm Sakuntala. Think out of the box.
Yes. Out of the box. Yeah, good. They actually told that at the first, right? Innovative thinking. Let me draw attention to two things here. Of course, we will talk about some of the characteristics that you said. Maybe it's a good point for you to write it down. One of the most important things here is, did you see the answers? Except I think Jennifer, who tried to say as a speaker, all of you have actually sat on the audience's perspective and had views, right? For you to win hearts, forget winning trophies for now, that will come later. For you to be able to win hearts while on stage as an impromptu speaker, you need to know the audience very well. And I'm not talking about specific audience, who this current audience are. I'm just generally saying, what will the audience expect? See, if a topic is or was difficult for you, 100% sure it will be difficult for the audience also. Any topic that puzzles you, even something as simple as a friend in need is a friend indeed, it will confuse audience because even they are, while you are contesting in a contest, the audience are as well. Every time, even in your club, ask yourself, when a TT speech or topic is being given to another Toastmaster, what is the thing that immediately runs in your head? Okay, what will I speak when I give him this topic? Yes or no? Everybody does that. So everybody in the audience goes through the same emotion, even during a TT contest where the topic is repeated 10 times over. Because the first time it is done, you are thinking, okay, how will I speak? The second time, you are thinking of, okay, I thought something, how would I do it better? The third time, you're still thinking of how do I do it better? The fourth time, the third speaker, right? He or she has inspired you, and you're thinking, yes, good point. Or, yeah, you messed it up. If I were you, I would have done this. The fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, every time you journey through the same topic, you think of it differently. Yes or no? This happens to everybody in the audience. It happens to the table topics master, because even the table, if you have ever been a table topics master, right? Oh, that's cruel, because you are giving the topic and you're like, I have worked on this topic for 2 days at least now, at least from the previous evening. I know how to crack this, but you guys are either not doing it or somebody's doing it even better. Yeah, how did you do it? So you are journeying through that as well. So as an audience, all that an audience expects is what Vikram and Ranjit actually said. You want to see how the speaker on stage survives until the red card. First up, because you always like a fighter, don't you? If India lost on the third day, you hate the team. If India loses on the fifth day, you are prepared to give them a little bit of a leeway. Right? Chalo, theek hai. At least you fought till the end. And secondly, connect the dots. Somebody actually beautifully posted in the chat. Connect the dots, meaning this topic was a puzzle to me as well. But you spoke so long, and yet you were somehow able to connect either to your own personal life or to the speech or to us as an audience. Very important. First technique I want to share with you is be connected to the audience, to the topic, and to yourself. That's a triangle. You, audience, topic. That's like a triangle. You must touch on all of these three vertices when you're on stage. Don't worry about it being complex. Just tell yourself, okay, somehow I should connect to the speech. Somehow I should connect to the audience. Maybe a little humor. Somehow you can even say, thank you, table topics master. If it was you who gave me this topic, we'll meet outside. If it was somebody else who gave the topic, yeah, come and say hi to me. Done. Audience are already smiling. Look at you on screen. All of you are already smiling. Done. Right? That's unconventional, slightly out of the box. Who on earth goes and threatens a TT master? Unconventional, out of the box, witty, humorous, everything. Now, no matter what you speak till the 2 minutes, audience are somehow like, oh, okay, somehow this guy is doing something speaking on stage. They will remember the first threat until the end. Maybe at the end, you can say, I open the invitation one more time. Whoever gave the topic, please come and meet me. Done. You're come out. So have a connect. So have this triangle. Don't forget it. Have a connect with yourself, your life, the topic, and the speech or the topic, right? Topic, yourself, and audience. That's the first C, connect. I like acronyms because it stays in your head. So what I'm going to talk to you about are the three qualities of a good impromptu speech. The first quality is connect. What do you think the second C is? It's a CCC formula, of course. First is connect. What do you think is the next? Second C.
Confidence.
Confidence, yeah, confidence. Close.
Convey.
Close. Convey, okay.
Conviction.
I want you to tell me three qualities of a good speech, not a speaker. Right? A confident speaker, a speaker with conviction. Yeah, it's describing a speaker. Describe a speech.
Communication.
One at a time.
Communication. Sorry.
Communication, coherent. Yeah, both of you good. Communication, coherence.
Concise.
What else? Concise or crisp. Yeah, that's a style of delivery, but content. I think somebody hit the head on the nail. I mean, nail on the head. Sorry. Content, right? Thank you, Naga. When in 2 minutes, content is important. That says a lot, isn't it? In 2 minutes, as an audience, you want some content. You want to hear some sense. There are speakers like one Raghavan Sridhar who sometimes goes onto the stage and blabbers nonsense. He's able to come away with it, but that happens once in a while. Or sometimes you have amazing delivery style like Alex Jacob does, and at the end you are like, wow. But when I ask you, okay, what did he speak of? I don't know, yeah. Alex was floating on stage. He's elegant, he's slim, he's wearing that same waistcoat that he has always worn. And you know that style of his. He comes, he goes. I saw him floating. I don't remember what he spoke. Yeah, sometimes delivery can do that magic, but that's just sometimes. For you to have consistent results, you need at least one solid point in your speech. That one solid point must be related with the topic. It can't be how can India become a superpower in 2030 when the topic is about don't pet over sweaty things or don't pet over petty things. Say, right? It can be if you can pull it off, but generally, if the topic and your content are unrelated, that doesn't work. So, content is important. Most important, I would say. At least think of one or two clear points when you are on stage, when you get breathing time, when the topic comes into you. Try to reach out to your random access memory and pick up at least one or two good points that will last 2 minutes. Right? Don't worry about humor. Don't worry about unconventional thinking. Don't worry about confidence, communication, crisp, etc. when the topic is being said. When the topic is being told, try not to think of anything else, just the topic. Even if you get just one point in that topic, right? If I had given don't sweat over petty things to Karthik, Karthik would have started speaking about petty things and why it is important to come away to transcend that. Correct, Karthik? See, that's it. So if I give, there might be some of you who would just say don't, and say I have a list of don'ts, and some of these don'ts will match into this topic as well. Done. You're at least giving a clear content to the audience. So content is it was actually the first C, but it's the second C. First is connect, as we spoke here. Second is content. What's the third?
Clarity.
Wow. Were you part of some other session of mine? Actually, because clarity it is. You know, the biggest pitfall for a table topic speaker in the Toastmaster context. Outside is different. At work, when you have a meeting and there is an impromptu speech or an address or a customer call you have to take, you don't end up repeating the same point over and over again. That doesn't happen. There are only 2 times that you end up repeating the same point over and over again or contradicting points over and over again. That happens in that happens during 2 occasions, right? One, when you're fighting with your wife or girlfriend, because there you're only you have to either go on the defensive or you want to escape. There is no going on the offensive. That doesn't ever happen. Spouse, it can be husband also. Okay, when you're into an argument, right, because it's a loved one, you want to either cut the fight. Okay, I agree, and then once you agree, you suddenly good points. How did I agree? No. That point is correct. Hello, the day before yesterday, that sambar was not nice. How are you saying your sambar is always nice? Suddenly, so when your mind is processing 2 diametrically opposite things or too many thoughts at the same time, that's when clarity suffers. That happens only during 2 occasions. One, when you're having a conversation or an argument or a debate with a loved one. 2, in Toastmasters, when you're doing a table topic speech. Let's come to the Toastmaster context, okay? Because when you are delivering a speech, when you got the context, when you're on stage, there's a lot at stake. Remember what Soundarya told us? She said, a topic can destroy your confidence. It doesn't just stay on stage. When you come down, it hurts, doesn't it? You don't know where it hurts, but it hurts. Why did I mess it up? Because once you come down, 100 thoughts come to your mind. Why didn't I say all this on stage? Has it happened to you? Yeah. So on stage, sometimes or most frequently, you got a point, you're delivering that point. Thank you, timer. Suddenly, 2 other points come to your head. You're worried that if you don't speak those points, you might forget it. So in the tussle between your mind and your tongue and your heart, halfway through a sentence, the next sentence comes up. It's not complicated. It's happened to you, hasn't it? Yeah? Happened to you? Nod your head if it has. You can see a few nodding heads already. It does. It happens to all of us at least once. So this is where you need to be as a good impromptu speaker. Now, I'm only giving you a technique. I'm not saying if you know the technique, you're going to become better tomorrow. No, it's one thing to know how to drive, how to do a front foot drive. Another thing to be actually able to do it. So just know this: when you're on stage, one or two important points of content is important. Being able to deliver them separately with good clarity is of utmost importance. You need to be very clear to the audience. If it means sacrificing a rushing point for the sake of clarity, then do it. You don't have to speak all the 6 points that comes to your head. Best speeches are ones that have only 1 point. The speaker is just trying to convey one thing to you. You take Selvarajan for an example, right? Selvarajan was given a topic that was something about leadership and inspiration. All that Selva did throughout that speech, that was a winning speech, was he took, so he loves, and this is what Selva, I hope you guys know Selva. Selva has in his armory five leaders: Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Alva Edison, Sachin Tendulkar, Shane Warne, and Abdul Kalam. That's it. You throw him any googly, any topic, any ball, one of these 5 will come to his aid, or maybe all 5. So when the leadership topic came, all that he said was leaders are those who do not rest on their past glories. When Tendulkar is facing Shane Warne, that ball Shane Warne is bowling is important to Warne. That ball he is facing is important to Tendulkar. Abdul Kalam did not stay in his previous life of scientist or in his life of presidentship. He lived in his Ramanathapuram house simply, and that's where he bid us all goodbye. Same with Thomas Alva Edison. Not about yesterday's failure, not about tomorrow's possible success. That things like that. So that's the only point he spoke. But he took all 5 people as an example. He could have spoken, of course, 1,000 things about Abdul Kalam, sir, right? 1,000 things about Tendulkar, 1,000 things about one, when there is so much to talk about them. Just 1 point, different examples. So clarity trumps over more number of points, right? So those are the 3 C's from my side to you: clarity, content, connect. I've gone reverse. So the way we spoke about it was connect. So what should you be connected with? Connect to the topic, connect to the audience, connect to your life. If you can't do all 3, at least do one thing. Okay. Second, have content, at least one clear point, 1 point at least that is related to the topic. Then be very clear, clarity. Okay. We spent some time on this already, right? These are the 3 C's of good impromptu speech. Now, okay, Raghavan, I know these are the 3 things to handle. How do I do this? So that's a different challenge altogether, right? So I have what I call R cube, the 3 R's. Now, I hope if you're writing it down, in slides, it would have been a visual representation. It would have shown you 3 C's. So write 3 C's, keep it away. Let's go to the 3 R's. My name is Raghavan. It starts with R. It's a nice letter. So let's go to 3 R's. Now, the 3 R's, being able to deliver with these 3 C's. And of course, that these words will be slightly rolling on your tongue. The reason is because I made the acronym first and then the technique. I took the techniques and then fit it into these R. So the first R, second R you can contribute. The first R, let me tell you, because it's very important. Relinquish your fear of embarrassment. And this is what I was talking to Soundarya about. I think the first thing you need to do when you go onto the stage is basically become shameless. Nothing can touch you. If you bomb in a TT speech, no problem. Who will tell you? They have bombed 100 times, right? So they can't tell you anything. So the first R is relinquish your fear of embarrassment. Now, if you're writing it down, write it in a full sentence. Relinquish your fear. Don't stop with fear. Fear of what? Fear of embarrassment. Because our only fear is not failing on stage is, people. That's what Soundarya said, right? She said, oh, people will laugh at me. Yes, Soundarya? That's your worry. People are not going to say, oh, you failed. If they show pity, you are not worried. It doesn't hurt you. But if they say, yeah, what did you do, Soundarya, on stage? Then it hurts. Relinquish your fear of embarrassment. That's very easier said than done, but most important for you if you want to ace in your contest and ace in your life as an impromptu speaker. Forget it. It's okay. Even if you mess up, even if you bomb, even if be shameless. Okay. So relinquish your fear of embarrassment. I don't need to teach you. Yeah, speak. Timer. I'm going to take 5 more minutes. Okay. Give me a red card, yellow card at 4 minutes from now, and a red card at 5 minutes from now. Thank you. So tell yourself that you are not going to be bothered about what happens once I come down onto the stage. I don't need to tell you how to do it because it's quite easy to do as well, and each of you have a technique to do it. Basically, become shameless. I can't teach you how to become shameless because you have to figure it out for yourself. So relinquish your fear of embarrassment. What do you think the second R will be? That's a little complicated because I've just added certain words with R. But I'll don't attempt this. I will tell you myself. Second, remember to stay awake. Remember to stay awake. It's very easy during an impromptu speech because let's accept it. Impromptu speeches in Toastmaster contests are not really impromptu. It's like movie villains in the Tamil movie. If the villain wanted to kill the hero, he can just come 2 steps from the back and then take the knife, sorry it. He doesn't do it. He goes 2 kilometers and starts shouting from there. I am going to come. By the time the hero can turn, finish his breakfast, lunch, dinner, take a gun and shoot the villain. It's not. That's exactly what Toastmasters table topics contests are, or table topics in Toastmasters are. We have somebody yelling from us, I'm the table topics master, who is the volunteer, who is the volunteer, who is the volunteer. Either you raise your own hands, become a bakra, or you know the table topics master is looking at you or your thumbnail and then he's going to pick you. So you know it's like somebody shouting. Then what happens is you get enough time to become away from your tummy. All of the butterflies can come all the way till the person sitting next to you. All of you get nervous. So let's face it, impromptu speech in Toastmasters is not really an impromptu speech. So you have enough time to sleep off or to go into a shell or to become scared or to let other emotions away. In my ears, my heart beats, I can hear. It has happened to me. Seriously. I can feel my ears becoming red. Because I am not prepared to go onto the stage today. I came into the meeting because Karthikeyan was like, if you don't come to the meeting, I'll mark your attendance. I'll tell people, I will go to Facebook and say Raghavan is not attending 20% of the meeting. Or worse, I will say Raghavan's brother is the Toastmaster of the month. People will say, brother and all are coming, why can't you come? Happens. No, so I've joined and I want to keep my camera muted because I'm not ready to be on stage. And in contests, it's worse. If you are not the first speaker, you are put into a room where you can hear other people's heartbeats. Yeah, the entire room is like you're sweating even in AC. So the point I'm trying to convey, the reason I'm telling you all of this is I'm just opening you up a little bit, right? Because you know you've felt this. It's very easy to go into a shell, to lock yourself up, to feel you can hear only the heartbeat when the topic is being told you can't, and you have missed something. Somebody, when I have done this, I trust me, I've done this. I was in a TT contest when Alex Jacob gave his speech about have you heard of the speech that he talks about when he goes on the plane and there are air hostesses and then he goes and sits and an entire if you have not, you should ask Alex to repeat that speech. It's a wonderful speech. I was there. I don't know if it was a humorous contest or if I think he gave the same topic, both ISC and humor. And when I was in TT, I heard his speech. That inspired me a little bit. And when I was on the stage for a TT, when the topic came, the immediate thing that was in my random access memory was Alex's speech. I was awake to that. And then I used something from Alex's speech and delivered it in my impromptu. And people are like, hey, that's amazing, man, because you were awake during all this time. You didn't let the emotions overpower you. But only I know I forgot everything else. Only Alex's topic stayed in my mind. But people don't know that. So when you have enough time to sleep off, don't. Remember to stay awake because somebody's passing remark, somebody's inspirational quote, some speech or something that happens in the confines of your of the room, right? You are sent into a room, a breakout room, or in your when you're in a physical meeting in that room, something that happens there can become a moment of inspiration during your delivery. Some word in the topic might spark an emotion, might spark a memory, and you'll be able to do what Vikram told us, right? Be able to connect with the topic, have a clear narrative style or a storyline. So you must remember to stay absolutely awake on on that particular day or that particular instance, because topics are like the Tamil cinema villain, right? I'm going to kill you. So remember to stay awake. Now the third, it's a very simple word, starts with R, ends with Y. Can you guess?
Ready.
Rely.
Rely. Hey, who's that? Is shooting off everything that's on my script. Rely. Yes. Rely on what? Rely on techniques. And that's what we're going to see next. I'm going to talk to you about some techniques that you can rely on when everything else is said and done, when the topic is delivered, when you have content, when you're clear in your mind, when you're awake. Okay, all this theory portion is done. Now I have to be able to channelize everything I'm getting in my mind into a speech. Now, how do I do that? Maybe that's some question on your mind, right? I have good content. Now I've got the content. Topic is easy. A friend in need is a friend indeed. I have a good content. How do I deliver it? So the third R is relying on techniques. We will see the technique just in a while. But let's summarize one more time. What are the three R's? What's the first R?
Relinquish your fear of embarrassment.
Beautiful. I love it when you say it fully. Relinquish your fear of embarrassment. Let go. Next.
Remember to stay awake.
Remember to stay absolutely awake. Third.
Rely on techniques.
Beautiful. Now you know this. You also know the three C's that are important: content, clarity, and connect. Okay, done with this. Let's go to the last part of these of this session. It's called the techniques. Hear about this very clearly. Listen to these and chew it in your mind, because when you do a table topics next, you are going to need all of this. Okay, timer. Just tell me overall how much time have we crossed till now?
40 minutes.
40 minutes, right? Okay, super. So we have about an hour to complete even the speeches also. So that gives us good time. So this is very important. This is going to be the practical side of things for you as speakers. Again, if you have a pen and paper, good to note some of these techniques down. Now, the first technique is called peace, Patani. Called P, and something about me, I love acronyms, and I think acronyms reach you better. That's why it's a recall value. So peace, P-E-A-S, peace, called problem, explanation or example, analysis, and solution. Problem, explanation or example, analysis, solution. No matter what topic you get, if the topic is stated as a question or a fact, or maybe a problem, say global warming or poverty, or sometimes one of the most important plays that our Toastmasters like is leadership. They throw something about leadership to you, and they say a leader is a leader is not about the title, it's about action. Now there is a problem here, or a perspective here, because people think leadership is all about the title, or some people think leadership is all about action, and then you have a confusion in that. So take leadership, explain what leadership is. Give an example. Ajinkya Rahane, Virat Kohli. One leads without a title, one leads with the title. Either this is good or that is good. What are the analysis? So what do you analyze from this? It doesn't matter who the leader is. If each of you can do your job, then the leader looks better. Or you need the authority to be a good leader, or you don't just need the title at all. You can be a leader, whatever it is. Solution, instead of debating on whether title is good or not, let's only think of what we must do. Something like that. So you already got in a structure, right? You have a content, you have some thoughts in your mind from your life. put it into a structure, problem or perspective, explanation, example, analysis, and a solution. Got it? PEAS. Next is PR square or pi r square, however you want to call it. Again, very similar. Each of these techniques will give you a little bit of a length. Okay, if you're talking about PEAS, that's 4 points. When you have only 1 point on your head, or when you feel you can talk about PEAS, take that. Or when you're a little bit rushed, okay, I don't think I have enough time, or I don't think I can respond quickly enough, then go for pi r square. Just nothing but perspective, reason, reiteration. Again, take this leadership topic. What's your perspective on the topic? A leader is not about the title, is about action. You have a perspective on it, right? It's purely going to be yours. I believe that leadership is all about action. Title is not needed. What are your reasons to say that? My reason is, see, it doesn't matter that you need to have a title. It doesn't matter if you have a title. Your actions will define who you are, because that's how leaders are made, with their actions. And we have seen so many leaders in our world. And give some examples: Tendulkar, Dhoni, or whichever field you like. Pick an example, say that, then reiterate. I conclude by saying Vikram was right. If in my speech I am able to connect to the speech, then I can win over the audience, right? So you reiterate. Perspective, what is your reason for holding on to that perspective? Reiterate that perspective again. Pi r square. With me? Good. The third is something that you will all like. It's called the past, present, prediction. PPP. Past, present, prediction. Again, what I'm demonstrating to you now is taking the same topic and telling you how it can fit into any of these techniques. Okay, so let's go back to the leadership aspect itself. Leadership is not about the title, it's about action. PPP. In the past, leadership has always been about action. Title has not mattered at all. In the present, leadership is all about action. Title doesn't matter at all. In the future, leadership will always be about action, not the title at all. Explain. Three points, 20 seconds each. 1 minute is easily done. You can do this one more time to complete 2 minutes. Past, present, prediction. Not all topics give you the scope to take any technique. You might have to think on your feet when on stage. So see which one works, or which, even here it's a leadership trait, right? When all of what you have written, one technique will stick in your head, because that's who you are as a person. It's still fine. If you're able to manage 2 minutes on stage with that technique, you will still survive. Let me reiterate this final technique. The previous technique: past, present, prediction. Okay, basically past, present, future. Take the same topic, put it there. And I told you something about technique sticking to your head, right? This last technique is what sticks in my mind. I shamelessly use it over and over again wherever I go. Even here today, it's called the TC, terms and conditions. I call it the tree and the cow technique. Some of you are smiling, so it means you know already. It happened. A teacher told a student, tomorrow in the essay, you're going to get a topic of cow. So read about the cow. The boy reads about the cow all night. Next day in the exam, the question says, write an essay about the tree. So what does this boy do? He writes the full essay about the cow. And then finally he says, this cow is tied to the tree. Over. I do this all the time. No matter what you're telling me, I'm saying I'm going back to Vikram SK. Because Vikram SK's point stuck in my head. So every time I'm recalling Vikram. I'm talking about the cow, tying it to the tree, right? Sometimes that's your only way out in table topic speeches. When I got this pet over sweaty, sweat over petty, I won the contest. You know how? I spoke about something completely random. And then I said, guys, the topic and my content, these are petty things here. Don't sweat over them. Just speak what you want on stage. The entire hall had thunderous applause because every speaker, the applause was actually the slap they wanted to give the table topics master. Instead, it turned out to be a clap because unconnected tree and the cow. Okay, so terms and conditions. So what are the, let us go back again and revisit the technique. What is the first technique I told you? Now you're getting restless. Come on, last slide. That's it, over. So tell me again. Peace. PEAS, problem, explanation or example, analysis, solution. Excellent. Take poverty for an example and then use it there. Next.
Pi r square.
Pi r square or PR2 or however you want to call it. Perspectives, reasons, reiterations. Next.
PPP.
PPP or P cube or triple P or 3Ps. Past, present, prediction. It should actually be past, present, future, right? PPF, but I said PPP so that it sticks in your head. Past, present, prediction. Finally,
TC, tree and cow.
Terms and conditions are tree and the cow. Right. Remember, it takes preparation and practice for you to be able to ace this. Okay. For now, hold on to all this theory. Chew it in your heads, in your minds. I will give it to the TT, to the TMOD. The TMOD will give it to the TT master, and the TT master will get the knife and come back to you shouting. Until then, you keep digesting it. First speaker, see if you can digest all of this. If not, remember the techniques alone. Try to use a technique when you're delivering your speech. We have a lot of time to interact and for questions also. Let's head over to the TMOD now and then get the meeting going. We will talk to each other one more time once in between when we get some time. Thank you so much. I know there was a lot of information, a lot of talk, but I hope there was something useful for you. Over back to you, TMOD Yasin. Please take the meeting forward.
Thank you so much, DTM Raghavan. I truly set the stage on fire today. Truly, our cobwebs are blown away, I can say. Now, good tips and techniques, enough of theory. Let us get into practicals. Are you ready, audience? A big round of applause for DTM Raghavan Sridhar for presenting the wonderful session. Now, let us invite our table